Hey guys, this is a concept using gravity and buoyancy. Basically, here we have a water-filled fluid tube with a floating um, ball that has either oxygen, air, or other gases to be buoyant or buoyancy. So pretty much just like the ocean, large heavy cargo ships are buoyant and they float on top of the ocean. Um, you can actually carry extremely large payloads from the bottom of the ocean just by filling bags of air and tying these bags of air to heavy rocks. They can pick them up to the surface of the ocean. So same concept, using a tube filled with fluids inside. Any kind of fluids, doesn't matter what kind of fluids. In this case, let's say it's water. And then we have a ball of filled with air or other gases. And obviously it's going to be buoyant. It's going to go always in the upward direction. It could carry a lot of payload, obviously. The more and larger surface area for the ball or floating cylinder or sphere. In this case, it's a sphere, empty sphere with uh, uh, air inside, and will flow upwards. But if you can see this, I have drawn here copper wire all the way around the tube, so as the buoyant sphere moves upward, it because in this concept the sphere is made of outer magnetic material, and inside is just empty with air or other gases. It charges the copper, and you have free electricity as it goes up. So in this concept, even if it's inside the ocean, uh, it could be 100 miles in some planets as far as the ocean, how deep it is. So it takes less energy to fill a sphere with air than it's than actually produces more energy out of this simple concept, because oxygen could be easily filled, but it takes less energy, and you get more out of this concept because if the basically if the ocean was infinite, as far as buoyancy, it can go up forever and ever, but because of the limit of the height of the ocean, obviously that's where it ends. But just imagine if the ocean was infinite as far as the height, then the buoyancy will be also infinite. So what I'm trying to say is the buoyancy is more powerful than gravity. It can carry more payload than gravity. Buoyancy, it contradicts, or actually counters the gravity of an object. You could actually um, be more powerful than so. So because gravity itself is energy, and buoyancy is also energy. If you use them both in basically in a engine capacity to produce free energy, then sure, it's both are energy in their own way, and using it opposite to each other, it will produce free energy. So here I have a simple machine. It's just a concept. You got magnets here, so when it locks in with the magnet, this sphere filled with air or other gases to float upward, because these tubes filled with all water or fluids or any kind of fluids will flow this way, and when it reaches over here, the gravity will take over and lock it in again over here, and then I'll do the same concept again. The sphere will start floating this way, and it'll repeat the same action. So it's actually going to swing this way in concept and theory, and in theory it should actually work. Nobody has ever thought of using buoyant force and gravity opposing each other to produce free energy. This is my invention. It's just a concept. Whether it works or not, I have no idea. But the concept is pretty interesting. You could design all kinds of different engines using buoyant force to produce free energy. Just imagine, it only takes a fraction of energy to fill a sphere with air and let it carry a cargo, and you get more energy out of that because the deeper the ocean, the more energy, and it'll never stop. Even in space, when you push an object, it'll keep on going until it meets resistance. But in buoyancy, even if it meets resistance, it'll just keep on going. It's infinite. So buoyant force, it can go higher and higher for eternity, until, in this case, until the top of the ocean is met. So if the ocean was infinite, so buoyant force will be also infinite. But we know reality is reality, and obviously here on Earth it's not as deep as other planets, but other planets, their oceans are 100 miles deep or more. Well, there you go, folks. It's a very simple concept, using buoyant force to make or design a free engine based on buoyancy and gravity in combination.